Thank you guys for joining me on Every Ray Living. You already know it is your girl Rayette. Welcome. As always, thank you guys for taking the time out of your day or night, allowing me to talk you through whatever you're doing, whatever you're going through. I hope at this point you've got your snacks, your drink, your blanket, your pillow, whatever it is you need to get comfortable and to get in the vibe so we can connect and talk about some things. I hope you got that and you're ready. I don't plan on taking too much of your time tonight, but you know how us girls do. We get to talk, and we said we only going to talk for about 10 minutes, and then that 10 minutes turned to 30 minutes, and 30 minutes turned to an hour. But I promise I'm not going to keep you guys for an hour, but I do want us to connect and talk about, you guessed it, the title. Have you given yourself flowers, or do you wait for someone else to give them to you? We're going to talk about that amongst other things. But before we get off into that, don't be afraid to like and subscribe, okay? You can share if you care, but go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. Turn on your post notifications so whenever there's a video, you will be notified, okay? So before I get off into the note cards, because you guys know that I said I was going to be keeping the note cards because that'll kind of keep me on task of what we're talking about and so on and so forth. But before we get off into that, how was your weekend? Did you do anything special? Did you got anything planned this coming weekend, or did you just chill? I worked all weekend, so I didn't do a whole lot of fun things outside of working. I did get my nails done. I had a day off, so I went and got my nails done, and I'm so pleased with them. I don't really get a lot of fancy smashy stuff done, but I love these. They're so simple but so chic. I got chrome on my index finger, and then I just got a little cute flower and the little tortoisey shell look. So yeah, I was pretty excited about that. Oh yeah, my thumbs have the chrome. Not a big deal, nothing fancy smashy, but I like it. So that was my highlight on my day off. I went and got my nails done. And I found a new massage place I'm going to go to this weekend. So I'll let you guys know how that worked out. And I'll give you the name of it as well once I go there and see how it is. Because I don't want to do no promoting them. And I go there and they suck. But stay tuned for that. But like I said, I was going to be sticking to my note cards, not necessarily talking about certain things in any particular order, because it's all going to tie in, you know. So first note card says, have you ever bought yourself flowers? Have you ever received flowers? Now see, here's why I wanted to talk about buying yourself flowers. I purchased these flowers for myself. See how pretty they are? Look at these roses. So pretty, and they smell so fresh, you know, and that's what I like about flowers in general. The smell, the freshness of them, and how they can bring vibrance to a room or whatever. But anyways, the reason why I want to talk about buying yourself flowers, and this is not for people who's like, girl, I've been buying myself flowers for years. You're not talking about anything. This is for people, women specifically, who have never received flowers from anyone and you felt uncomfortable with buying yourself flowers, or you've always received flowers and you've always wanted flowers, but you didn't feel comfortable with buying the flowers or having the flowers unless someone gave them to you. The other side of that coin, you could be a person that buy flowers all the time because you plant flowers outside of your house. You get to your little planters. You know, you're intentional about buying them because it's going to look nice for your house, outside of the house. And of course, everybody's going to say, wow, her flower bed looks amazing. And it's for you, yes, but it's for everybody else that's looking. We want people to see our landscape and think, oh my goodness, it's so pretty, blah, 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 blah. But I'm talking about buying yourself flowers, like on that intimate level. Like when everybody's getting flowers on Valentine's Day and you're not. Are you that person that aren't getting any flowers because if Joe Schmo didn't buy the flowers for you, you're not going to go out and get yourself flowers because you think it feels weird to buy yourself flowers on Valentine's Day or your birthday, or just because? I want to talk to you about the importance of stepping outside of that and doing it yourself. There is something sexy about going to pick out flowers that you like for yourself? Is it sexy and all the things when your significant other buys you flowers? Yes, because you're thinking he picked them out, he brought me a dozen of roses or your favorite kind of flowers or whatever. Yes, that's sexy. It's alluring. It's all the things. But when that person isn't buying the flowers for you and you're not getting any flowers, you don't feel appreciated on Valentine's Day. You start feeling like, man, no one brought me a flower for Mother's Day or whatever, the occasion is. But it's something sexy and grown about going to a flower shop, a store where they sell flowers, and saying, you know what, I'm going to go buy me some flowers, pick me out some roses. I'm going to get me 5 roses, 3 roses, 2 roses, a dozen of roses, and I'm going to purchase them for myself and bring them home and put them in a vase and put them on my table, and all is well with the world. It's a different feeling that you get when you do that for yourself versus, someone else bringing you the flowers. Now, don't get me wrong. You like that. We love that. It feels good. But if you're always waiting for someone to give you some flowers, I think that feels odd. I think that would feel odd, to say, I only got flowers on this day because Bob bought them for me 15 years ago and I haven't had a flower since. That doesn't make you want to go buy your own flowers. You don't even want to know what that feels like to buy your own flowers. I think you get a better sense of the kind of flowers you like when you be intentional to go out and purchase your own flowers. You don't have to wait for someone to tell you you're deserving of a rose. Go get your own roses. And then when you have people over and someone says, wow, those roses or flowers are really pretty. Who got them for you? I did. I bought them for myself. And that'll make the other person think, what? You went and bought your own flowers? No man bought them for you? No, I got them myself. Don't get me wrong. It is something to a man bringing you flowers. I got my first dozen of roses from my ex, and I've had many roses from him since then. And I've had guys buy me flowers. I've had my sons buy me flowers. It's nice. It's beautiful. We love it. We appreciate it. But I think you can find a bigger and a deeper appreciation when you step outside of that feeling of, ooh, it's uncomfortable to buy myself flowers outside of planting them. Because when we plant flowers outside, it's for everyone else to come and see and look and ooh and ah. But when you're intentional about saying, I'm going to go and treat myself to some flowers. I'm going to buy myself some flowers today. I'm going to buy myself some flowers for my birthday. It feels different. So then when people do buy you flowers, if that guy does send you flowers or whatever, you're not feeling like you ain't never had a flower before, because you're used to getting flowers because you treat yourself to these things all the time. So get in the habit, get okay with doing things that you think your man should be doing for you. Or if you're a man watching this, your girl should be doing for you. Because I'm not saying guys like flowers, but we as women, we love those kind of things. But don't always wait for a man to go buy you a dozen of roses. Buy yourself a dozen of roses. Be intentional about going to get them, how many you're going to get, what kind of vase you're going to put them in. Get intentional about discovering the kind of flowers that you like. So you're not just, when somebody bring you a flower, you're just happy that you got some flowers. You can be like, if a guy asks you, well, what kind of flowers do you like? Or you can tell the guy what kind of flowers you like because you've done enough work to find out what you like anyways. Because everybody like roses. Like, who doesn't like roses? They're pretty. They come in all different colors, da 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 da. But you may like tulips, but never realize you like tulips. You may like, I don't know, because baby breaths. You didn't realize you liked them until you start going out buying different flowers for yourself. So all that to say, don't be afraid to give yourself some flowers. The next question. Do you struggle with being seen? We live in a world where we want everybody to see what we do, what we say, and sometimes we want people see what we're not doing. You know, you may have broken a bad habit and you want somebody to acknowledge that you're not doing that anymore, and they're not saying anything, so you feel a certain type of way. I'm doing this journal on following God for 7 days or whatever. And in this devotional, alongside of that, it was talking about being seen. And sometimes we live in this world where if no one sees us doing something, it clearly doesn't matter. It clearly doesn't count. Or you start feeling a certain way about yourself. We're all guilty of this. But the reality is God sees us. We need to get more caught up in how God sees us, what he's seeing us do. I got a little funny story that happened to me this week at work. I was about to speak a truth. It was a truth. And I was about to say it to one of my coworkers. And right when I got ready to say it, I literally bumped into a chair, and like it just made all this kerfuffle. Like as I bumped into it, like it was like God instantly telling me, "You don't need to say it." And as soon as I got ready to say it, I bumped into it, to the point I said to my coworker, "If you ever need a sign that God will stop you from saying something, let this be it, because it just happened." And she was like, "I know." She's like, "It was like right on time, like instantly." And I said, "Yeah, I know." And because I'm in tune with, God, making sure for the most part, I don't just be saying and doing any and everything that I want to do. And when I'm getting out of control, there will be that little firm smack on the hand. Don't do that. But I said all that to say we are being seen by him. And in due time, whatever it is we're supposed to be seen doing, it's going to happen. And yes, I get on here and do these YouTube videos because obviously I want you to watch. Like that's the whole point of why I'm doing it. And yes, it would be nice if 1,000,000 people was watching. But in time, if that's supposed to happen, 1,000,000 people will watch. But God has a way of giving us things in due time. He sees us. He sees what we're ready for, and he sees what we're not ready for at the time. So don't worry about being seen by other people. God sees you. And if he sees you, whatever it is you want, he's going to make sure you get it when the time is right. That doesn't feel good. It's not comfortable because we don't ever know how long that's going to be. But when it happens, that's the right time. And speaking of being seen, I posted this on a short. So if you saw it this week, you know what I'm talking about. And I posted it to my TikTok, which is where it happened at. So one of my favorite girl rap groups, Salt and Pepper, specifically Salt, she came across my For You page, and I commented me thinking I was her in high school. And guess what she did? She hearted it. She saw it. I didn't think for 1 second this woman would see that comment. And you already know I made a video about it, saved it, screenshot it, and all that. One of my favorite rap groups, girl rap groups from back in the day, saw a comment about me saying I'm itching, about me saying that, I thought I was her because I was Salt and Pepper down to the dances, cut my hair one side up. If I have a picture, I'll show it at some point. I do have the picture. I just don't have it on my phone, and I'm not going to go digging for it. But I'm pretty sure I've showed it on so many videos in the past. But I was a true fan. Ripped jeans, had that down. And my favorite video, I like them all, but my favorite video was Shake Your Thing. And they could have just cast me to be the other dancer, the other girl in the group. But anyways, she saw it. I said all that to say, when the time is right, people will see what they need to see from you or whomever when the time is right. And so I said all that to say, out of all the people that commented and made comments, she saw my comment. And I didn't even think that she would. And if she did see it, I didn't think she would heart it. So I'm just saying, in due time, whatever you need to be seen or do or whatever, God sees you. And that's the only person you really need to get caught up with, seeing you. And so, last but not least, why it's important to make sure you see yourself and give yourself flowers. And I paused for a minute because I was going to say something else, but it's not important. But I'm saying that to say this. It's important to make sure you see yourself and stop worrying about if other people see you, because they do see you. And sometimes they may see you and don't like what they see because you're operating out of confidence. People will look at you and think, who do you think you are? Who does she think she is? People are probably looking at me like, who does she think she is on here talking about X, Y, and Z? She's not this or that. It doesn't matter. I'm not worried about what those people think. I'm not worried about what those people are saying. I'm worried about what I think. I'm worried about what makes me happy. This got me excited. I was at work today, couldn't wait to get home so I can do what I genuinely, truly love to do. Even if it's just one person watching. It's not easy talking to a camera because, again, you look crazy or whatever, or you feel like you look crazy. But I know I'm going to show this to the world, and one person's going to watch it. And if only one person's watching, that's the person I needed to watch it. But I don't care if anybody else think I should be doing it this way or that way. I'm doing it my way, because whatever is supposed to be seen at the right time, when the time is right, God is going to make sure it's seen by the right person or persons. And the other one is, start giving yourself flowers. We hear this whole give people their flowers while they're alive. Sometimes you can't appreciate people till they're out of your sight. And this doesn't mean they have to always be deceased. Like I've said on my podcast before, it could take a move. A person can get married. A different life change can cause, all of us to go in different directions. And you can't appreciate that person until they're gone. And I said this when I turned 50 last year. A moment can't be appreciated until it becomes a memory. So you can have all the fun, and you can't even capture all the fun you're having in the moment because you're in the moment. But when it's over with and you reflect on how the day went, how the interactions went with people, you appreciate it once that time has come and gone. So you can give your flowers to people every day, all day, but you may not be truly appreciative of them until they're gone. And I love my mom. My mom always dropped gems. And I was just telling my sister tonight, I appreciate her more, and I appreciated her when she was alive. But I appreciate so much of what she said and did after she left. And it's so weird because you would think you would appreciate all those things when they're alive. But it's just not possible to appreciate every little thing someone does until it's distant. It doesn't take away that you love them and you appreciated them when they were there. But when they're gone, you'll start regurgitating things that they've said. You'll mimic some of the things that they did because it left an impression on you that you didn't think, you was going to pay any attention to down the road. But you'll find yourself saying things like, just like mom said, X, Y, and Z. You appreciate those words of wisdom and affirmations and all that more when they're not around. So I wanted to just take some time to tell yourself, don't just go out and smell the flowers. Go out and buy yourself some flowers because you're worth it. Stop waiting for someone else to tell you you're deserving of a dozen roses, a half dozen roses, or a rose. Tell yourself you're worthy of that and go buy yourself flowers. It doesn't just have to be flowers. It could be anything. But I wanted to talk about going to do the things that feel uncomfortable because these are things that we expect men to do for us. You're not always going to be in a relationship. If you're not married, you're not always going to be in a relationship. You may break up tomorrow. He may forget it's the anniversary that y'all been together for 10 years, because he's so comfortable with being with you for 10 years. He's like, she don't need no roses. She got me. I'm the rose. No. Treat yourself to the things that you truly want. And they don't have to be big and extravagant. But get comfortable with saying, I'm going to go buy me some roses. Because let's face it, It's okay to go buy yourself some flowers and roses and all that, but we're not broadcasting, I'm buying me some roses, I'm buying me some flowers. That's kind of like on the low because you don't want nobody to know that you bought your own flowers. There's nothing wrong with buying yourself flowers, especially if you're a woman used to getting those things. But if you're a woman that's only waiting for a man to buy you flowers and make you feel feminine and beautiful and worthy of a flower, you might be waiting a long time because you need to know that you're worth the flowers. You know, men will treat you how you treat yourself. You know, if you expect flowers from him, but you ain't never bought yourself a flower, why is it his job to make sure he treats you like a queen or whatever, and you're not treating yourself like that? Don't give people jobs that they didn't sign up for, number one. And when you do give people these jobs to treat you a certain way, make sure you're adhering to that standard that you want them to treat you. Okay? So I don't want to take too much of you guys' time. I said I wasn't going to be on here too long because I was on here a little long the last time. But there's going to be more videos that I'm going to be talking a little longer. I like to keep it at 30 minutes, 35 minutes, give or take. But tonight I didn't want to hold you up too long. But I wanted to make sure we connected and we talked about that to encourage you to go out and get yourself some flowers. Until the next time, we're going to talk about it.